on the porch today, doing a live Q&A. I ain't been able to holler at y'all. The last few shows, I ain't been really looking at the chat room. What's up, Star? Over there starting shit. Star, why you tag me in that bullshit with Keith Murray? God damn. What's up, Devin? Star trying to get me in trouble over here, tagging me. He said Bill Cosby's daughter looked too much like Bill Cosby. And that's why he went. What's up, Jayla? What's up, Nikki the God? What's up, Rob? What's up, Jordan? I got a lot of y'all piling in. What's up, Casey? Yeah, man. Keith Murray been on one. Keith Murray has been on one. That man, when he said that that story about, yeah, Nikki, you did start it. Nikki the guy, you did start it. You right, Star. But Star, you'd have to tag me in it. Shit. What's up, Butter Love? Big Lee, Darnell, Happy New Year to y'all. Shit, you never know what's gonna happen. Saturday night, I did incense and ashtrays with y'all. We had a good time. Shouts out to everybody that came into incense and ashtrays on Saturday night. Nigga, 3 hours later, my ass was in the hospital. I was fucked up, y'all. Shit, that pain I was having, that was the second worst pain I had since I tore back muscle playing basketball. You never know how fast shit can change. I was in incense and ashtrays last Saturday night having a good time with you niggas. So Tori Rain. Then I woke up I ended incense and ashtrays. 3 hours later, I'm in the hospital like, oh help, nigga, help. I'm fucked up, nigga, fucked up. Help, nigga, help. And then 3 days after that, right back up to walking the mountain. Some natural immunity. What's up, Tasha? Yeah, Keith Murray, wow. But yeah, let me get to it, man, and I'm gonna talk about it as we go on. What's up, activists? I'm doing a live show, February 25th. For those, I don't have the ticket. The ticket link is going through through the comedy club, but I'm doing my show. I'm doing this show live, February 25th. That's a Saturday at 10 p.m. I already signed the contract and everything, so it ain't none of that skipping and saying maybe, maybe, maybe. I just don't have that, and I'm gonna have a ticket link up whenever I do the flyer, but I ain't done my flyer yet. So yeah, 2/25/23. Going out on that day. That's my dad's birthday. Hopefully my dad can come. But no, my parents, they're gonna be somewhere out having a good ass time, not thinking about me. I know my parents. But that's a King of Clubs day. That's my day. So yeah. I would man, it'd be so dope to see all y'all there. It'd be so dope. I need y'all to help me sell this thing out too. Like when you come, get your ticket, bring a friend, bring 3 friends, bring 7 friends, bring 9 friends. Make it to where the comedy club hit me back and be like, hey, can you do 2 shows? Which I don't know if I want to do 2 shows, but if it's not me tickets sold, I will. Yeah, I'm gonna do the show live, and it's gonna be different too. It's gonna be a different style show. It's gonna be a comedy show, but it's not gonna be a comedy show. I'm really gonna run the show the same way I do here on the porch smoking a blunt with you guys. Except I can't smoke a blunt in that comedy club. Pretty soon we'll find somewhere where I can smoke a blunt. Oh, y'all, for sure, Star. That'd be dope to see you. You too, Jayla. Brother Love. What's up, Mark? Yeah, Tosh, should be great to see you there too. Yeah, I'm gonna do like I do this show. Where I'm a freestyle. I don't know what I'm gonna say. We gonna get on a topic and we're gonna have a dope ass discussion on it. We're gonna have some dope discussions. I'm gonna have a Q&A with the audience. And so far, I have confirmed Larry's gonna be in town. So the weather's a lot better here. It cleared up. It's a little cold, but there's no rain for the next couple of days. But Larry gonna be in town, and so he gonna get on stage and do some work. And I'm gonna give Larry the mic to when we do the Q&A. Larry's gonna be in the audience with the mic, helping y'all with the Q&A. And Slink gonna be on the show too. I told Slink. I'm gonna get one more comic. The woman I want to get, she be in and out of town, so I'm not sure if she'll be in town. I'm gonna try to lock in schedule with her. But I have two or three women that are very special to me in comedy, so I want one of them. So I'm a host the show. We're gonna be talking. I'm gonna bring up uh, Larry gonna do some jokes. Slink gonna do some jokes, and then yeah, yeah, Star. I want Kamira on it, but Kamira be in and out of town too much. If Kamira's my first choice. If she's in town, if Kamira's in town, she'll be my first choice. Um, and then if not, I'm gonna see if Edward White is in town. Or it's another one I love, Ramona. I don't know if y'all know who Ramona Stevens is, but she's funny as fuck. Brother Love, you ain't gotta worry about me and Larry squabbing. That nigga know better. He wouldn't embarrass himself in LA in front of all you guys. Well, what's up, Kenneth Barry? Hopefully I can see you there too at the show. You're in LA. I'm doing this show live. We're gonna be live, talking shit. You know what I mean? And and I'm gonna have my man DJ Count DJing. I love DJ Count. I have a chemistry with him. I was so glad because I booked the show without even booking to see, knowing, calling Count to see if he'd even be available that day. And I booked the show, and I know it's the right way. I know it's the right way to do it because yeah, he gonna be in town. He gonna be available. And me and Count got a music chemistry, so yeah, we gonna have some music going, all that shit. Yeah, so it'd be dope to see y'all there. It'd be real dope to see y'all there. It's gonna be improv, straight up improvisation. It's gonna be me and a mic. I ain't gonna have no bunch of other people with me on stage. Nah, it's gonna be me by myself talking to y'all. What's up, Quan? The show is gonna be at the Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood, Saturday, February 25th at 10 p.m. Tickets are gonna go on sale like next week or the week after that. I gotta make the flyer first. And all day I've been saying I'll make the flyer, but I've been doing so much other shit today. But yeah, we gonna be in there. We gonna be in there. And if it work out well, I'll do it in Dallas too. I'm gonna see whatever weekend Tariq is gonna do the FBA conference. Whatever weekend Tariq does the FBA conference, I'm gonna hit up some contacts I have down in Dallas, and I might do a show like that Friday night before, since I'm already be out there in Dallas for the conference. And if I'm in Dallas, of course, I'd have Larry on the show again. And if I'm in Dallas, I definitely have Black Ron on that show. I definitely have Black Ron on that show. Oh, that's what's up, Tyrone. It'd be dope to see you there, man. So from Atlanta, that's love, man. I appreciate that. Jada said I'll venture out for this. I'll be honored. Yeah, I'd be honored because I really want to. I like doing this. I like talking. Like I really like when I be talking to y'all. I really fuck. Excuse me. Shell trying to, you hit that blunt and you trying not to cough, but you trying to keep the smoke in, but still trying to talk cool. Like, I should have just went ahead and let that cough on out. But like, I really fucks with y'all, like for real, for real. I like interacting with y'all, so I want to do it live. And I was thinking I want to do it different than stand up, cause stand up, you still got the fourth wall. You know what I mean? It's a performance that when I do stand up, I don't. That's my stage. I don't let nobody else talk. You know what I mean? That's my stage. I'm in a different mode. I don't want to be in that mode for this show. I really want to have a family talk. Like we're gonna talk. Now, of course, I'm still gonna keep it funny. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna keep it funny. Hey Jada, do not trip. I still don't know how to tag people on YouTube. I got a goddamn YouTube channel, and sometimes I go into another room and Nikki or somebody or Quan to say what's up, and I'll be like at Q, and that shit never get highlighted. So don't trip, Jada. Don't trip. Do not trip. Nah, shit. If Corey's in town, you don't think I would let Corey come on stage if he's in town? Shit, Corey be on the road all the goddamn time. So Corey be on the road. So I seriously doubt Corey Holcomb could be there. That nigga Corey Holcomb gonna be somewhere chilling the stage. Now, I did hit a Freeze. I would love to have Freeze on the show. I would. But Freeze has been doing like a lot of other stuff lately. And I'm not sure if Freeze can do the show. Freeze been in and out. Me and Freeze had a good conversation a couple weeks ago. I would love to, if I can get Freeze Love on the show, I'll definitely get him on the show. I stay in contact with Freeze. Yeah, I would love to get Freeze on the show. But Corey gonna be somewhere at a sold out weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, giving it to them niggas. Yeah, Freeze is a king of comedy. If you ask me, Freeze Love is one of the kings. He's an unheralded king. You know what I mean? He's unsung because he spent so many years behind Eddie Griffin, so many years behind Charlie Murphy, so many years sitting next to Corey Holcomb on 5150. People never really, 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 really gave Freeze his own shot. But Freeze, I would put, to me, Corey Holcomb is the funniest nigga on the planet. I've seen Freeze. When Freeze goes, Freeze is on the level of Corey, Dave Chappelle. He's on all their levels. Freeze Love, you ain't gonna get no drop off. Now, he's a different type of funny than Corey, but Freeze is a funny ass nigga. And the way when Freeze goes into character, this nigga can play a Puerto Rican, he can play a white person, an Arabian. This Freeze's characters is wow. And he know how to make you think. And he can make you cry too. Freeze is definitely next level. If I could get Freeze Love there for you guys, I will. 'Cause I love Freeze Love. If I can get it, but I know Freeze just been busy doing all kind of other shit. Freeze been busy. Yeah, I miss Freeze's YouTube too. Yeah, my favorite era, and this is again, I don't want nobody to take this disrespectful. I like all eras of 5150 except for the era with Precise. Precise was the first person that ever made me. I couldn't watch it. When Precise was on 5150, it felt like somebody stole my favorite show. I was mad. That was a hard 9 months. I stuck in, but you know, that was the only time in my 5150 life that I couldn't watch the whole show top to bottom every week. Some weeks I had to just tap out at the second. So I don't want to make it seem as if I'm choosing, trying to say this is better. But my favorite era of 5150 was Zoe, Freeze, and Corey and Darlene. Those four. That was my favorite era of 5150. Zoe, Freeze, Darlene, and Corey. That right there is my favorite mix. For personal reasons, I like when Craig got on there. Y'all don't know how excited I was for Craig when he got on 5150. I remember because Craig was always driving those trucks. So I'd be like, man, you need to do 5150 more. People love you. He'd be like, for real? I'd be like, man, if you don't, and this nigga be somewhere in Boston driving a truck. I'd be like, nigga, if you don't get your ass back to 5150. So so for personal reasons, Craig being there is my favorite, for personal reasons. But as a fan of 5150, Zoe, Freeze, Darlene, and Corey. That shit was awesome. I like Marcus too. Marcus is dope. Marcus old country ass. I love Marcus. Marcus got a good spirit about him. I was happy for Marcus when he started doing 5150 because I just remember when Marcus was out in front of the improv. I used to like making Marcus laugh just so I could see his reaction. That nigga almost got hit by a bus one time, but Marcus got that country ass laugh. Marcus got a person. If you get Marcus real good with a laugh, he gonna kick and he gonna stomp his feet, clap his hands, and run all into the street. That nigga almost got hit by a bus one time. That shit was hilarious. What's up, Court Court? Yeah, I like Bobby. Craig and Nate era was funny. Yes, I forgot about the Craig and Nate era. Yeah, I almost forgot. How can I forget about that? The Craig and Nate era of 5150 that shit was funny as fuck. That shit was very funny. The Craig and Nate era. But my favorite era is Freeze and Zoe. And like, it was funny too because y'all remember the episode when Freeze knocked Zoe's hat off? That was in 2016. I remember 2016 because that was the year that me and Freeze we did a once a week comedy show together for about 5 months over in Hollywood that year. And I remember the Monday, and then we did the show every Monday, and 5150 is filmed on Tuesdays. No, we did the show on Thursdays. It was me and Freeze every Thursday. And I remember him telling me, he was like, man, we was really about to get it in. But then we both got there and was like, nigga, we too old for this shit. That shit is funny. I love 5150, boy. But Corey's so goddamn funny. Corey really doesn't even need co-hosts. Corey just needs somebody there to sort of bounce ideas off of. My favorite thing of well, Corey, like whenever I do 5150, I just say a few things that I think is going to go here. I like playing John Stockton when I'm around Corey. I just say something that I want to hear that nigga go in on. Because you don't need to. Other shows, you got to talk more. Corey, shit, all you need to do is say something that you know is going to piss that nigga off and then watch him work. Yeah, I miss Zoe being on 5150 also. Zoe brought good balance. You know what I mean? Zoe, like, it was one of the things where you miss him more when I'm being gone. It's not that you didn't value him when he was there. It's just that now that he's gone, like, you miss because I like I like Zoe because Zoe could take because Corey is very smart. And Zoe could take Corey there. Like when Corey's on his own, Corey gonna just be clowning on some. He's gonna be clowning. But when Zoe would make Corey dig deeper, and whenever Corey digs deep, Corey's one of the wisest niggas on the planet. Yeah, Corey is like an oracle. Corey's a very smart. Yeah, no, you know, I'm at a place right now in my life where it was something Corey said on 5150 that got me to where I am right now. And he said it about a year ago, and I was already pushing forward. But Corey Holcomb really helped me out. He said, no, about 2 years ago, he talked about y'all remember when he was talking about coming out here from Chicago and how he didn't really know what he was doing? But Corey said, nigga, if God really with you, then he gonna be with you. You can't be out there hustling and God not be with you. He was like, nigga, if I make this thing, I know God got my back. And it was just the way Corey said that shit. But at the time, I was dealing with some shit that I was afraid to make a leap on. And I heard that shit. I was like, man, you know what? This nigga Corey just preached the whole goddamn word. Talk all that faith shit. But if you're afraid to jump, what do you really believe? Corey operates in faith better than 98% of Christians. The same people that would tell Corey he going to hell for saying Jesus Christ is a side baby are the same people who don't have 1/10 of Corey's faith, but they preach faith all day. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, Breeze. Yeah, Corey definitely ain't for the sensitive, but that's okay. You know, there's a lot out there for the sensitive. It's one of those things where, and that's partially why I talk the way I talk. You see, with me, I would listen to my episode I did this past Tuesday on caffeine, and I said the word bitch too much. I didn't mean to call Rihanna a bitch. I was just in the moment. But at the same time, I be raw on purpose because I refuse. Ain't nobody gonna box me in. Niggas think just because you halfway smart and can halfway teach something, you supposed to fit in some old nerdy ass box. Kiss my entire black ass. So I do and say shit to remind people that I'm a regular ass nigga. I'm just a nigga that decided. Well, I mean, you ever going, brother? I'm just a regular ass nigga that decided to pick up a fucking YouTube channel one day. That's all. You know what I mean? And I hate when just because I speak on something and I have some little bit of a knowledge and people come tell me, hey, but you speak to the kids and you smoke blunts and you do mushrooms and you drink and you're really out of shape. I'm in shape, bitch. Round as a shape. So I like being the odd man, odd looking ass, offbeat ass nigga. Because it reminds these dusty ass niggas out here don't follow nobody. Only thing I'm trying to do is put some in your mind so you can lead yourself. You're right, American Negro. Weed is essential. What's up, Mr. Black Cincinnati? Yeah, that whole list had me on a 10. It was. I was out. Why was Rihanna on the singers list? Rihanna could be on the performers list. What's up, Miss Jefferson? Rihanna could be on a performers list. She could be on the entertainers list. Hell, Rihanna could be on a models list. She could be on the billionaire list. It's a lot of lists that Rihanna belongs on. She could be on a pretty girl list. She could be on the big forehead list. But one list Rihanna cannot be on, if we're going to take the art of music serious, is a singers list. That can't happen. How is Rihanna on a singers list? It's like, come on now. Like I said, she's speaking the alphabet when she's singing. I mean, I mean, it's like Rihanna talk. Her music is like talking in tone. She sort of talks in tone. And then let it shine together, and we come and dream forever. Said you'll always be my friend. And I hated that song when I used to be in the clubs all the time when that came out too. Man, I was in Hollywood. I was in the club 6 nights a week when that song came out. And I had to hear that bitch every got that bitch ass song. Not Rihanna the bitch. That song the bitch. That song was a bitch. I had to hear that bitch every night. Umbrella, Ella, Ella. Oh God. My ears still need cleaning from that shit. Oh, that Take a Bow song? Oh my God. Jesus. That was some of the worst music ever. Rihanna, they put John Lennon on the list. John Lennon. The only song I like from John Lennon is Imagine. And even on that song, he can't sing. I just like the groove and I like the message of the song. John Lennon can't sing. John Lennon, get that peppermint patty looking ass white man out of here. The fuck was he? Again, I blame Tori for y'all. Blame Tori and Rain for me for how angry I was on that show. Because like I said, I was in the hospital all day New Year's Day. Fucked up. I didn't look at my Twitter all day. I didn't look at my Twitter till the next day. Monday afternoon, I finally looked at my Twitter. First thing I see was Tori and Rain tagging me in that Billboard Top 200 list. And I swear to God, my stomach went right back to where it was in the hospital. Fuck. Blame Tori and Rain did follow his channel. Shit. And that pissed me off. And then, but like that's what I'm gonna do over on caffeine. I still I got an announcement to make, but that's I still gotta push that off. But when I start doing more shows on caffeine, I'm gonna be integrating the music in it because I can't do that here on YouTube. Hey, did y'all like my studio setup from when I interviewed Kendall? Y'all like my studio setup? My new studio setup? I appreciate that, Star. But yeah, for those just new in here, I'm gonna be doing my live show, Dwan Be Live, February 25th, 10 p.m. on a Saturday night. Comedy Chateau. Tickets will be on sale like next week. Big Lee said, hated it. Oh my God, but going back to that list, but I like what we were saying before, man. You use that list, those lists expose are them telling us how bogus they are. They can't take themselves serious, putting Beyonce in the top 10 and Stephanie Mills isn't on the list at all. Like, in what world is Stephanie Mills? Stephanie Mills been on Broadway since she was 14 fucking years old. Stephanie Mills has been on Broadway since she was 14. She's 65, and she still sounds like she sounded 40 years ago. And Stephanie Mills is not on the list? That's enough to make you be like, you know what? These rat bastards just trolling me. You know what? Let's just laugh at these fools. This is obviously a group of people who has no clue what they're talking about. None. Not Torian. I would like to put it on Gen Z, but I can't. You know why? Because Rolling Stone ain't paying. It's somebody that's Gen X. I'm telling you, it's somebody. It's a white. It was a group of white folks in their 40s and 50s. I promise you, it was a group of white folks in their 40s and 50s who did that. And They really put honest effort into it. They put Aretha Franklin at number one and Whitney Houston at number two. So that let you know that they were really shooting for it, but they can't help themselves. Them making the top 10 all black was them shooting for it. They really were. They were trying. Making the top 10 all black, they was going for it, y'all. I'm telling you about it. They didn't mail that in. They put that list under serious consideration. You got to put Beyonce in there because, those are her people. Why wouldn't you put your own people in the magazine? Yeah, it was a panda list. Yeah, there was no, they had Donnie Hathaway like way past like in the hundreds, but they did not have Nat King Cole. They did not have Nat King Cole. But I like to use that as opportunities to teach the youngins, teach the chillins. Like we got to pass the information around to each other, and then as I disseminate information, y'all pass it. Y'all come in with your point of view. We got to make sure we pass the information down to the chillins, the little chillins. They got to know. One thing our children have to know is let me tell you, this has dropped into me. This kind of just came into me on this full moon, January 6th, 2023, Cancer full moon. This just came down to me. The kids have to see us as the adults devalue all of these white publications that speak on us. They have to really see us, and they have to be raised in a world to where, because we were raised to want to be approved by the system. Pull your pants up, wear a suit, cut your hair, conform, go join go to college, join a fraternity. We were told to value the Oscars, and the Grammys. Ooh, such and such has a Grammy. We were told to value these things that are created by the people who take our art and turn it into trash. The way to inoculate what these people are doing with our art isn't to fight them, it's to devalue them. Energy, when energy is thrown out and you mute it, that's far more damaging than returning the energy. Because when they throw bad energy out and you return the energy, it becomes a synergy that will their loud media platform can drown out everything else that's going on. But when they throw out the bullshit and we learn how to dead that shit, now we did in territory as this fire truck come by. Nigga, if they house is burning down, that shit's gone. Bye bye grandmama's pictures. God damn, that was a slow moving ass fire truck. Anyway, anyway, if we learn how to just literally mute it and laugh at it, I mean, just like that. I did my show like that on purpose. Silly. I was being silly and having fun. It has to truly, truly, truly be like laughed at. Ha ha, ha 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 ha. H-A-H-A. Spell the last out if you want to. H-A-A-H-A-A. H-A-H-H-H-A-A-A-A. Ha 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 ha. That's how you that's how you devalue something. Like we were raised on why isn't such and such in the top? And let me give y'all a quick history lesson on where that comes from. Do y'all know the reason why crossover exists in the radio exists the way it exists now Do y'all know that didn't start until like after 1976, 1977? By 1977, CBS who it had already had control of the gambling hub, the Philadelphia International. CBS gained control of a lot of the distribution of black music, CBS Records, then Columbia Records, and then they all follow suit. But in the late 70s, that was the first time black people weren't in control of the distribution of R&B. Quick history lesson, all right? Before 1977, black people owned the primary means, or if they didn't own it, they were in control of with whatever white people they were working with not getting involved. If you want a point of reference, if you go back and listen to the Unsung with the Ohio Players, they had the record executives in there, and the record executive himself said that basically with the Ohio Players, we just left them alone, and we gave them a deadline for a product, and then when that deadline hit, they gave us a record, we put it out. So, for the black people who were on white labels, they weren't getting interfered with. But for the most part, the majority of the labels distributing black music, Curtis Mayfield, Motown, um, Philadelphia International back in the early 70s, they were black owned. So, in order for black music to hit, black music had to go top 10 on the R&B black chart first. And then once it hits top 10 on the black charts first, then it got considered for the pop category and the crossover category. So what does that mean? During that time, black when black people were in control of the distribution of our music, every song, every album wasn't written to be a hit. You could have mid-level classics and be fine, like your Bobby Womack's, your people like him, your people like Leon Ware when he went independent. Motown, like they had the Motown, but they also had Tamala. So when Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye segued away from the Motown sound, those records were released on Tamala. And then you had these different James Brown, you had all these different people that had these different ways of putting records out. So most music was just made to be good at home, and if it hit, and then of course you had your albums that your Motown certain stuff that wanted to hit to the top. But when Stax was around, Motown was just as likely to put out albums that they were pushing to top 10 as they were to put out albums just to keep putting out albums and keep putting out music and content to keep getting those sales. It was like keep putting their music out because we're just going to keep generating sales in black-owned music stores, and that was the model: just keep generating sales in black-owned music stores. So the music was always made for us. It was made for us. That's why there's so much soul before 1976. It's still there in the late 70s, but if you notice by the late 70s, most of your protest music is gone. Curtis Mayfield is, for the most part, a relic by the late 70s. James Brown, Bobby Womack, those lines, Aretha Franklin. These people weren't getting the same kind of work, and that was by design. So what happened was, um, by the late 70s, the majors are now in control of the distribution of black music. So the philosophy changes from putting out good music that's going to sell week in and week out. The philosophy changes from that to let's go ahead and get a crossover top. You got to get, it was CBS that started that. You got to get a crossover hit on the album. So what they would do is, you found it on Earth and Fire's album, I Am, the song Boogie Wonderland. That song was actually supposed to be on the Emotions album. But, that shit hit so hard, Earth and Fire, Maurice White kind of did some shady shit. Rest in peace, Maurice White, but that was kind of shady. And he put it on the Earth and Fire album and not the Emotions album. That's because by that time, you needed that crossover disco hit. And if you didn't have that crossover disco hit, and it didn't hit within the top 50, the rest of your album, the DJs Mind you, by the late 70s, a lot of your black home radio stations are trying to. Another thing that's going on in the late 70s as you get into the 80s, you get all the black owned stations, the same baby boomers we're dealing with right now, y'all. Like their parents and them, they're coming into play. They're trying to be more white. They're trying to get more access to white. So the black music, radio stations stopped really pushing black music, and they were trying to find Blue Eye Soul. It was the black radio station started playing the Bee Gees more, playing Michael McDonald, and playing like pay attention, black people. Anytime we're talking about music, the minute a black person finds out it was a white dude named Bobby Caldwell that did that song, "What You Won't Do for Love," think about how fucking giddy and excited niggas get when they hear about a white boy that sounded so black. Like niggas to this day, 2023, get giddy when they see a white dude do something black. So imagine how the mindset was 50 years ago. So a lot of your black radio is getting this mindset that they're trying to crack Phil Collins, Simply Red, Wham, later on George Michael. They're trying to pop these white artists on black stations. So the black stations started devaluing good soul music too. And black people, as we got into the 80s, started going for that crossover top 10 hit. And it watered down the music. And it really watered down R&B in the 80s. R&B really got watered down in the 80s because of that whole philosophy of going for a top 10 hit. It's a whole history behind that, y'all. There's a whole lot of shadiness behind that, how it originally started. The thing is now for these artists to stop always trying to chase a goddamn top 10 hit, because you know who didn't chase top 10 hits? You know who didn't water their sound down throughout the 80s? Frankie Beverly and Maze. Most bands that were around in the late 70s were no longer around by 1985. Go back and look. You had a few that made it. Cameo made it. The Gap Band made it, even though their sound started to get more and more watered down as the 80s went along. By the time you get to the late 80s, Midnight Star is done. The people who really made it through was Frankie Beverly and Maze. They didn't water their sound down. Now, they never sold more than 500,000 albums. Frankie Beverly and Maze was never on the front of Rolling Stone magazine and crossing over. But this is a message to you artists out there. Frankie Beverly and Maze was never on top. But 45 years after their inception, Frankie Beverly and Maze is still selling out concerts because Frankie Beverly and Maze never crossed over. They never went for the bullshit. And so 20 years after Frankie Beverly lost his voice, his audience still loves him because he stayed true to us. We got to celebrate Frankie Beverly and Maze for that. The rest of them niggas was going for that top 10 and lost their soul. Oh, yeah. Spell McKenzie, yeah. Cool in the Game. Yeah. Cool in the Game went from Jungle Boogie to Joanna. I hate that song, Joanna. Joanna, I love. Oh God, I hate that song. I want to punch somebody every time I hear it. And I think I'm done seeing Cool in the Gang. I like Cool in the Gang, but it what I mean. Anytime I go see Cool in the Gang, man, they got to be like with the Mexicans. Because when I saw them at the Orange County Fair, like 2019, they was funky as hell with the Mexicans. At the OC Fair, because you know the OC Fair is gonna be full of Mexicans and black people. So if Cool in the Gangs is out there, or if they're in San Bernardino around all the niggas that moved out of LA, I'll go see them. But Cool in the Gang at the Hollywood Bowl, nah, I'm done seeing them at the Hollywood Bowl. I saw Cool in the Gang twice at the Hollywood Bowl, and I was disappointed. And not because they didn't sound good, just because they catered the music to more of a white audience. So they didn't play Summer Madness. but they played Joanna. I saw them out there at the OC Fair. They played Summer Madness, boy. Celebration. Yeah, the Barcades. War was for the most part. War, War, War was at its best in the early '70s. By the time War got to the late '70s, they were starting to lose steam. I'm talking about the bands around the late '70s. George Clinton could have stayed around, but they destroyed George on purpose. He got on that crack for a while. But you see George still touring. Bootsy Collins and George Clinton, they still work with young artists today because they stay true to their sound. See, that's why I love Parliament Funkadelic so much. They never succumbed to disco. The faster disco got, the slower and funkier Parliament Funkadelic got. So it's like, that late, when it got to the 80s, music had gotten so watered down, you know, so watered down. And, a lot of the black owned radio stations had a lot to do with that because they was too busy trying to be white. And then, black artists being put under these white labels and given a different expectation. And black music has been chasing the top 10 ever since. And that's why it sucks. Don't chase the top 10. I look at Roy Ayers. Roy Ayers didn't chase top 10. But Roy Ayers' music is still relevant today. What's up, Eduardo? Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing my show live. I want y'all to be there. February 25th. February 25th, North Hollywood, Comedy Chateau. 10 p.m. I want y'all to be there. Yeah. I got that song stuck in your head. Man, Summer Madness. Man, man, one of my favorite shows this past summer I went to was War, Earth and Fire, and Santana. That show was fucking great. Yeah. Joanna, yeah, I hate that fucking song. I hate that song. Cool. Of course, I got to put that song in your head. Somebody reminded me of that. I had all but forgotten about Joanna. Man, I got Cool in the Gang in my funk mix on my iPhone. You know what I mean? I got Spirit of the Boogie. I got all that good old cool Summer Madness. I got that good Cool in the Gang and the Light of the World album by Cool in the Gang, Light of the World, and somebody in there reminded me of that goddamn Joanna song. Ain't my fault, man. That's right. We gotta infuse the kids with Stevie Wonder, Earth and Fire, because Earth and Fire's music is life. Stevie Wonder's music is life. Like Earth and Fire is life decoded. All right, it is life decoded. I got a cold ass Earth and Fire mix. That you know what? I thought about sharing to y'all, but I'm not gonna share that shit. Only person that, only other person that got my Earth and Fire mix is Tashina Arnold. She's the only person on Earth that has my Earth and Fire mix. Oh, my wife. My wife. We have a shared library, so she is. But I'm always the one driving, so she don't need to listen to it. She always hear me listening to it. But yeah, Tashina's the only person that has my Earth and Fire mix on Earth. I thought about giving it up, but it's like, mm. Man, I just hit this blunt. I ain't got my filter in here. Usually I got a filter in here. Shit. I just hit this shit too hard. Goddamn weed nuggets just came in my goddamn mouth. Shit. Maybe that's I probably deserve that. I hit the blunt. And now all those weed. You just got a filter on the end of my blunt. I didn't roll it with a filter today. Damn it. I gotta hit this shit softer. I hit this shit like I had the filter on it. And all that shit just got me going. And they had me talking like a Middle Easterner. Yuck, 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 yuck. Yuck, 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 yuck. Come in. Yuck, yuck, yuck. They had me talking Farsi in this bitch. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yeah. But loves it as playback by the Earth and the Fire. But love, I will release some. I hit me up. All right, yeah. Shit. I'm Earth and the Fire. No, I might make my Earth and the Fire list public. I might make that one public. It's on my other playlists, like my R&B list and my funk list and my Soul Aquarium mix. I'm never gonna make those public. That's a hard line. Fuck no. But I may make my Earth and the Fire list public for like a weekend, and I may make my P Funk list public for a weekend. Because both my Earth and the Fire and my P Funk list got music that you can't find on iTunes, especially my P Funk list. Most of my P Funk lists you can't find on iTunes or Spotify. Because I bought a lot of those albums, the CDs, and a lot of that shit. And what I didn't buy on CD, I downloaded from Napster. I still got that shit in my library. You get charged for playlists? Quan called me stingy. I ain't been called stingy. She called me stingy. I ain't been called stingy since I was like 6. He's stingy. I ain't been called that shit since I was like a child. In the P Funk playlist, that shit got the whole Hardcore Jollies album. You can't find Hardcore Jollies on iTunes or Spotify. I have the Uncle Jam Wants You album by Funkadelic. You can't find Uncle Jam Wants You on Spotify. I have um, the Let's Take It to the Stage album. You ain't gonna find that on. Yeah, they got a lot of that good old music. Yeah, I might put the playlist. I might make the playlist public for like a weekend. Cause Tashina did put it on blast on Twitter. On Twitter, she was like, and and people, I've been having people hit me up all week about that Earth and the Fire playlist. Maybe for a reason. That's actually a good thing. I might make that playlist public, that particular one. But my other ones, fuck and no, don't ask. P Funk and Earth and the Fire. Yeah, I have my music that I recorded on the drums. I have it. I've never released it. I think I played it once. Brother Love, I think I played a song that I played the drums on once on Incense and Ashtrays. I think I did. But I don't have the rights to release that music because it ain't I don't own the right. I just played the drums on a few albums, but they're like independent. And I'm sure I could put it out there because it was nothing that was like done through ASCAP and nothing like that. So, but this is some shit I did recorded years ago. I got my drum sample packs up there. Oh yeah, I got my Spotify playlist out there. See, my playlist that I have on Spotify, those are hybrids of my funk, my funk soul playlist. That's a hybrid of my Apple iTunes R&B and funk playlist. It's kind of a hybrid list, but with way less songs. That's what I'm gonna start doing. My Spotify playlist. I'm just gonna start adding more to those lists so y'all can see. And then I'm gonna do a Spotify jazz list pretty soon too. People been asking me to do a jazz list on Spotify, so I'm gonna do a jazz mix. I ain't gonna be on there. It's full moon tonight, so I'm getting it like tonight, man. When I get off this shit with y'all, I'm still scared to drink alcohol because how the fuck I ended up in the hospital. It wasn't. I didn't get drunk. I didn't get in the hospital for that, but I ate some bad shit, boy. Woo! I ate a demon. And check the expiration date on shit, y'all. And then also with the wine, I had drank some wine. I was drinking some wine during Incense and Ashtrays, and the wine. If y'all don't listen to Incense and Ashtrays, it was one point where I played like three songs in a row. But the reason why I played three songs in a row was because I could not get this fucking cork out the wine bottle. I could not get the cork out. The cork kept crumbling. And when that cork kept crumbling, I should have known not to drink that shit. But I've drank wine with cork failure before. This was a bottle of this was like a this was like a $70 bottle of wine. It wasn't no cheap wine I got. It was a 2016 Tempranillo. It shouldn't have happened. And I did. I'm not gonna put the place on blast who did it because they do great business. They really do. You can't control everything, but they gonna settle it. They gonna, they gonna send me some. They gonna make it right. Send me some. But don't drink wine if that cork is crumbling. Don't do it, y'all. Because doing incense and ashtrays, I drank it, and that shit tastes funny. It tasted real funny. But I just figured, okay, I had never had this kind. This particular, it was a Tempranillo, and I hadn't had a Tempranillo in a while, So I wasn't sure if it was something wrong with the wine or if it was just I'm drinking this Tempranillo and I'm not sure how Tempranillo tastes. I wasn't sure, so I kept drinking. Yeah, if so, yeah, and so yeah, I got my cork out, and basically the wine had been exposed to air for way too long. It's no telling how long that wine had been exposed to air. It's no telling how long. That shit had my whole shit inflamed. This ain't had nothing to do with cooking, brother. Positive influence. I cooked too that night. The food was good. Matter of fact, that night I had lobster tail, nigga. I cooked some good ass food that night. And everyone who ate the food was good. But my wife, she tasted the wine and sat it down. She's like, and she didn't drink anymore. I'm over here doing incense and ashtrays with y'all. I'm listening to the music, having a good time. I'm listening to the music in my zone. Like, man, how about I pour another glass? And I was down in that shit doing incense and ashtrays. Guzzle, 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 nigga, guzzle. I appreciate that, American Negro. But I was doing incense and ashtrays. We was having fun. We was Friday night. We was funking it out. I'm guzzling this wine. Like, gu- 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 3 hours later, I'm hit, hit, hit. That shit was not stop. I wasn't about to go nowhere. My wife was like, man, you going to the hospital. I was like, man, I don't need to go to no damn hospital. I'm good. She like, man, let's go to the hospital. I'm like, man, nah, I ain't going to no hospital. Let me just smoke a blunt real quick. And when I smoke this, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go to the hospital. Look, woman, I ain't going to no damn hospital, man. If I just take some peppermint gel and some stomach formula. She's like, fuck it. We going to the goddamn hospital. I'm like, all right, fuck it. And I'm like, fuck it. We'll go to the hospital. When I get to the hospital, they put me in that little tube scan. They like, Dwan, we looking on the inside of you, bruh. You fucked up. Nigga, that was some of the worst pain I had in my life. I told y'all before, I done had 2 knee surgeries. Neither neither time I tore my knee was as painful, or when I had the surgeries, neither time was as painful. The only thing that was more painful was when I partially tore a back muscle playing basketball. And I got them back spasms. I was hooping up at UCLA. It was funny too. I used to hoop at the Wooden Center at UCLA. And at the time, one of my homeboys played for the UCLA basketball team. And sometimes I would go out there and I would hoop against in scrimmage with the UCLA women's team, just to be a 10th person, facilitate the offense. But I wasn't with the chicks this time. I was over there on the main court with the dudes. I was, nigga, I got that ball, right block, passed it, came back over, left block. I'm left-handed, so I like being on that block. So I hit that block, drop step, big nigga, but I'm quick. Especially back then. Now I'm slow as fuck now. All right, nigga, let me stop lying. 41 years old, I'm not quick. But back when I was 23, 24, quick to the motherfucker with my feet. Nigga, I hit that drop step, went in for the layup, and as soon as I went to jump, my back said, "Brr." And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm on the ground. And I'm like, why am I on the ground? Mind you, the pain hadn't hit me yet. The muscle went whoop whoop, and my body went doo doo. But the pain ain't hit me yet. So I try to get up, thinking I just slipped or something. Nigga, I try to get up, boy. That's when, at the time, I was like, I remember I went to do it. I'm at the same weight I am now. I was at 330. I was at 330 pounds. I was still hooping nigga at 330. But at a young 330. Nigga, They told me to stand up. I couldn't get in the car. And mind you, my boys that played basketball for UCLA, this year UCLA went to the national championship and got spanked by Florida. These niggas is on the sidelines laughing their ass off. All these niggas is laughing like, you told your fat ass to lose weight, nigga. You thought you, and these niggas is clowning. Cause mind you, I'm always there on the sideline when they playing talking shit about them. These niggas is clowning the fuck out of me. Nigga, I was so goddamn weak. Luckily, at the time, I had an Audi. The car I had at the time when I was in college. Yeah, I was 23. I was in college. The car I had at the time was an Audi A4. It's 2000. This is like the 04 A4. That was the car I had. So this is like 2005, 2006. I had like 2004 A4. But my car was in the shop. Luckily, and back then, Audi used to give you a rental car. And the rental car I had got was one of those big ass Infinity QX, the big whatever the one Q56. I don't really like Infinities. That big body Infinity, whatever the one that is. Luckily, I had rented one of those because my car was in the shop. Because if I was in my A4, there's no way in God's fuck I would have been able to drive home from UCLA to Ladera Heights at the time where I was. No way I'd have been able to get from Brentwood to Ladera in my A4. I wouldn't have been able to get in or out of the car. So luckily I had that Infinity truck. And I slid my big ass up in there, and as soon as I got home, I walked my ass to that shower thinking, I'm okay, I'm still trying to be Superman. I'm like, man, let me just take a hot shower and put some icy out on my back. I'm gonna be good. Nigga, my dad saw me. I'm laying on the bed with the icy out. My dad saw me limping up in that motherfucker. He was like, man, you need to go to the doctor. My dad's a truck driver, so he didn't play when it came to that back. My dad did not play. He saw my back was fucked up. He like, oh, hell no, we taking you to Cedars. Nigga, I got to Cedars Sinai. By then, my back had locked up on me so goddamn good. They wheeled my big ass on in there to the x-ray machine. And when I go to the x-ray machine, I tried to get up and take an x-ray standing up. Nigga, I fell like a hoe. I was looking so goddamn weak. I got out that wheelchair and was like, doom, 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 doom. Like I fell, I crumbled to the ground, boy. And I was like, God, they gave me some morphine. Nigga, they let the morphine sit for like 20 minutes. They tried to get me back up again to take an x-ray. Fell again. They gave me 3 doses of morphine for that shit to feel kind of halfway all right, nigga. And I had to take the X-ray while I laid on the bed. I had to like lay on the bed, but I couldn't straighten myself out. So the way I was laying. Remember that's when Grand Theft Auto 3 was out. I remember like when you played Grand Theft Auto 3 and you got wasted. You was kind of laying on your stomach with your leg out, kind of looking real weak. That's how I had to lay on that goddamn X-ray table, looking so goddamn weak, looking like I was wasted on Grand Theft Auto 3. Nigga, fucked up. Biz Marty said, "Don't buy an Audi, brother." That was 17 years ago. Shit, I learned my lesson. As soon as that warranty was up in them Audis, you gotta pay some stupid money out of pocket for no goddamn reason. I was fucked up. That was the only pain I had that was worse than the pain I had this past New Year's Day. The only pain that was worse than the pain I had this past New Year's Day. This pain was so goddamn bad on New Year's Day. When I got to the hospital, the medicine they gave me didn't stop the pain. I was like, yo, this shit ain't working. And the dude was like, hey, did you stop vomiting? I said, yeah, I'm not vomiting anymore. And he was like, well, it's working. I said, well, wasn't it supposed to settle my shit down and like make you where it don't hurt? He was like, man, you so inflamed. This medicine can't help you with that, homeboy. I was like, God damn. I should have made them niggas give me morphine. That's probably what I should have did. I should have said, give me some morphine, bitches. I was in pain like a motherfucker. So lesson learned. When your corks fail on your wine, don't drink that shit. You're going to end up like me. Hurled up, hurling over the toilet. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, I see why people are saying, yeah, man. That shit, for real, man. For real. I appreciate y'all, man. But live, we going to do this show live. And it's going to be dope because it's going to be interactive. It's not going to be your traditional comedy show. I'm breaking the fourth wall. We're going to have story time. And I want y'all to say shit. You know what I mean? It's going to be my time to talk to y'all. It's me and a stool and y'all. That's it. Me, a stool, a microphone, and y'all. That shit going to be fun. That shit going to be fun. Oh, yeah. Be secure in the fact that if you do come, I'm never going to do the same show twice. So if you see me 20 different times in a year, you're going to get 20 different shows. One thing I hate about stand-up comedy is monotony. I never did the whole thing. Now I have certain go-to jokes that you may hear. Sometimes you may hear the same joke said, but you're never going to hear it. If you do hear me say the same joke, you're never going to hear it told the same way twice. You never, even if you do hear me do the same joke, it's going to be set up different the next time you hear it. It's going to be said differently. I don't do that. Do the same boxing the show and like when you see me, you know what I'm gonna say next. You don't know what the fuck I'm gonna say when I go live. I appreciate that, Skew Raider. I appreciate y'all for standing there. I got a text. Somebody said Tariq is live. I was like, oh shit, that's where everybody leaving the goddamn chat. I thought it was because I was talking about that story too much. Bismarck T in the building. Nigga, positive influence that I'm left to y'all stuff. I'm Craig live. Nigga, that nigga Craig, boy. That's a funny nigga right there, boy. Yeah, very funny as hell. He said Thundercat signal. I appreciate that executive session 420. Yeah, but that's the thing, man. Like, but also know this, people. Whenever you have an ailment or an issue, a soreness in your body, a stiffness, usually there's a mental component attached to it. I won't say usually, I'll say all of the time. There's a mental component attached to it. And you got to get into the books and that talk about the mental things that, if you have a particular ailment, what's the mental thing behind what's going on mentally, stimulating that. They call it Chinese medicine, but it's It's just old school world medicine. It's African, it's indigenous to North America. Basically, everybody except for the people who's been on the planet for 6,000 years understand this. The mental connections to ailments. And when I looked at the mental connection to what I had going on, it made complete sense. It made complete sense. I'm like, yep, I really do be fucking up right there, and I really have been dealing with the boomty bamps and the soomty samps and the woomty wamps and saying blase blase and thinking blada blada, a bing bada. Whatever it is, it all made sense. Just like my knees. When I had my knee surgery back in 2011, my knees were still fucked up, like they were still sore until I dealt with the mental component of what a knee soreness is. And knee soreness has a lot to do with a fear of moving forward in your life. And whether it's on your left side or right side, tells you whether it's in a feminine, from a feminine aspect or from a masculine aspect, depending on what side of the body it's on. And when I addressed that mental thing, I had surgery and my knees were still fucked up for like 2 years. When I addressed that fear, when I addressed that thing, and I ain't had no knee problems since. That shit's real. That shit's real. See what's going on mentally with you. If you keep stubbing a toe, if you keep spraining an ankle or doing something, check what's going on in your mind. And there's a lot of books out there on this. It's a lot of books. You can Google some stuff, but it's books out there. I can't think of any off the top of my head, goddamn it, because a lot of these books were books that I got put up on game by my wife. These are books that she had laying around the house, that her dad had just in, I don't know how long. Some of these books I have, I don't even know if they still in print. But my wife's family is very learned. So there's always books on something around. And that's how I got put up on game. Yeah. I'm about to get up out of here. Remember, I'm gonna be live February 25th. It's Saturday at 10 p.m. Comedy show, Chateau. Tickets will be on sale next week. I'm gonna need y'all to help me sell that motherfucker out. Everybody in here bought a ticket. Plus one, we sell that bitch out. Of course, don't buy one if you're not in LA. Come, I want you there. Shit. I don't want nobody to buy them, then it'd be empty show. Shit. I want people that can make it. But if you can make it, please come on down. All right? That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good to see y'all in person and interact in person. We're gonna have a real live Q&A with that motherfucker. And then Larry's gonna be there too on the mic. You can see me toss that nigga around too. Larry ain't gonna want to fight though. Yeah, yeah. Larry ain't gonna want to fight, but I'm gonna challenge that nigga and watch him back down. Watch, watch. You can be some roasting at your own risk. I'm a lot meaner in person. I promise you. When I'm on stage, I'm a lot meaner on stage than I am on this app. This app is going to the world, so I be mean, but on stage, that ain't going to the world. It's just gonna be the people in that room that heard that. I'm way meaner on stage. So yeah. All right. I appreciate y'all for listening. For that, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages. For those who are willing to pick up the game. I'm out.